Hello, this is Matthew Miller from the ZDNet Mobile Gadgeteer, and this is a first look at the Nokia E71. It's the European version, so it doesn't have 3G in the US, but let's take a look at it. I've got some unboxing photos and some other product and comparison photos in my image gallery, and this is kind of a look and walk around and initial startup of the device. A couple things that were in the box I wanted to show you. First one was the wired stereo headset. What's a little bit different is this comes with a standard 2.5mm headset jack. In the past we've seen either the pop port or a 3.5mm, so this is one of the first ones that I've seen for quite some time with the standard 2.5mm headset jack. And another interesting thing is this slip case. This is the Nokia E-Series slip case. It's kind of a, I guess it's kind of a leather feel with a soft red finish inside. As you can see, it opens up in the upper right part of it, so if I just take the device, it would slide in kind of at an angle and then into it, just kind of to protect it, but not really, it's not really secure. So here's the device, and for comparison real quick on the video, there's the device. Here's a Samsung Blackjack 2. As you can see, the heights are about the same, and I think even though the Blackjack is a little bit wider. Okay, and here is the iPac 910. This is a touchscreen device. As you can see, it's much wider and quite a bit thicker than the E71, which I don't have an E61 to compare with right now, but I may have a picture or two that I'll put up there. So let's take a quick look around the device. Start with the back. The back is a shiny metal with some little bumps on it for grip, I guess, and a 0.2 megapixel camera with a self portrait. See, it says autofocus as well. On the left side, we've got, this thing has a lot of ports. So on the left side we have the micro USB port. We've got a micro SD card slot that supports the SDHC. Let's see, I'm not sure what this is here. Maybe it's just a radio antenna opening. On both sides of the back, you'll see this little grill, which turns out to be the two buttons you push to remove the back. Over here we've got the lanyard opening and the charging port. So there's a micro USB port and a charging port, and there's one more port on here, and there it is. Then we have the 2.5mm headset jack port. So we've got 3 ports on the device, which is kind of different. And here's the volume buttons, I believe. I haven't turned it on yet. Up and down, this may be a select button in the middle, as you can see there. On the top, we've got a clearly marked, identified red power button and a speaker grill. Okay, and then on the top of the front, we've got the Nokia E71. It looks like there's a light sensor there, and it does have a piece of plastic over the screen to protect it. Here's our buttons. As you can see, there's a home, looks like a calendar, contacts, email, and we've got a couple of soft keys here, and send and end keys, and then we have the keyboard with the alternate keys, the numbers in the center, and then some other alternates. It's got kind of a almost that soft touch rubber feel, but a little bit harder feel to it. Feels pretty good just initially, and I'll try to capture the angles. They've got some, they're rounded keys that seem to have, I don't know, I have to play with it, but I do like the big space bar. There's control over here and some other and some other symbols. Down here is the microphone. As you can see on the bottom, it is metal. This is a metal finish there with plastic, stainless steel I believe, and so the bottom is shiny, kind of a fingerprint magnet, but very classy looking device. Nice directional pad, looks very similar to the E61i. So that's the walk around. Let's go ahead. I've charged it. I've put my T-Mobile SIM in there, and let's just see what happens. I'll turn off this overhead light so we can see the screen better. Let's see what happens on first startup of the device. And there's a Nokia sign in the background there, Nokia logo. I just wanted to see if there was some setup features or whatnot covered in initial startup, so I wanted to film those for you. Okay, and go to USA, there we go. And let's try Seattle. Usually comes up. There's Seattle. The date is the... it's usually... yeah, the day is usually first. I believe today is the 9th. Was it the 9th or the 8th? I'm not sure. I'll just let it adjust by itself. 7. Okay. And time is about... it's about 5 p.m. almost. Okay, there we go. So then we have our opening home screen. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Welcome... oh, it says installing. Oh. You know, I put a micro SD card in there from another device, and this may be trying to install an application that I have a sys file loaded on that card. So let me see what's going to happen here. Okay, let's go back to this. It says, welcome to use your new phone. Learn about how its features and setup. We could say yes, and as you can see, there's some tutorials, email setup, settings wizard, switch to switch between devices, and I'll go ahead and exit out of that because I go through that later. So there's the initial screen, and I have not played with this at all yet. I'll have to get into it. I'm looking at the T-Mobile signal in the corner. Shows about 1 or 2 bars, which is a little bit lower than what I had seen on most devices at my house. It's 2 bars. I'll play around and see if there's some other settings there. And take another look at the device once I have more time with it. Okay, I took a little bit more looking around, and that's what I thought it was on this side. It's actually an infrared port, which I haven't seen on a device for quite some time. But I found it while I was messing around with some of the software on the device here. So let's just walk around through some of it. I'm going to change these menus and folders eventually because I've got my own personal setup. Looking at communication, see there's some of the traditional things: push to talk, messaging, contacts, internet telephone. In the office, we've got Quick Office, which is actually, launching it, is the full version that lets you create documents. So that's very nice. I'll find out exactly what version that is, but there's lots of other little helps in there. Converter and clock and wireless keyboard for the Bluetooth. There's a log, connectivity for Bluetooth as a modem via infrared, USB, wireless wizard. There's our tools folder, and as you can see here is profile, settings, encryption, modes. I believe there's a couple of different modes. You have a business mode, you have different modes, and changes your home screen and themes and wallpaper to quickly switch between modes, which is kind of a nice feature. And there's some other apps. Media, let's see, we've got a voice recorder, music store, which doesn't work here. Podcasting, you can see there's some new icons here as well. There's Ovi Share, there's a radio, gallery, installations. See, we've got weather, which is a widget. So this device actually supports widgets and sports trackers on there. GPS, we've got Nokia Maps, GPS data, and some landmarks. There's the web browser, downloads, help, and what I do not see is, let's see, maybe it's one of these up here. I don't see Mail for Exchange loaded by default on the device, which is kind of unusual for an E-Series. I thought they all had Mail for Exchange, so I'll have to immediately download that. And I also want to try out the new Nokia Mail as well and see how that works. So that's a quick look at the software. Now I'm going to dive into it, set it up, and get it working for myself.